Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for waiting patiently. I know we have some comments there that we will send to Unworthy, of course, fashionably late, those rowdy boys. And you're right, he probably was pre-gaming, but he has finally arrived, everyone. So, of course, if you don't know who Unworthy Collector is, all his information is in this video description link. You will see his links across the screen. And of course, we'll share some of the stuff that he likes to post on YouTube, which I just learned about today, go figure. And of course, we'll check out his Instagram as well, because he has some kick-ass stuff going on, whether it's collabs or masterclasses and all that fun stuff within the toy, I guess, collecting and photography realm. So without further ado, since he's made us wait an additional 16 minutes this evening, we shall introduce and bring on our friend, Unworthy Collector. So here he shall be. How are you doing, my friend? How is your evening? What's up?
It's going well. Thank you very much for having me on. Sorry for keeping everybody waiting. Rowdy hour starts when when rowdy hour starts. So
that's true, and I understand. It's hard sometimes to get back from that rowdy hour. So while we were waiting patiently for you, of course, some of our fellow friends in the community had some comments, of course, causing a ruckus.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Green
me.
Geek, yes.
Yeah, there's me, of course.
Yeah.
Retail, offering it. So we have Green Geek has stopped by.
Yeah, well, I got to bring the noise.
Yeah, you have to bring the noise. It's all about the rowdiness, right? So, you got Clintastic is in the house, of course, left you some comments. Typical Unworthy. We all know how it goes. But thank you for being here, right? I appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, basically tell us about Unworthy. I mean, I can say it in my own words, but obviously guests are much better describing themselves and what they're all about. So what's up? What's up with Unworthy? What's he all about?
Just out here trying to enjoy everybody's work in the community, all the toy photography, trying to promote everybody, trying to grow, teach get everybody learning something from each other and help teaching everybody. And, I try not to promote myself too much, but I've been doing a little bit of unboxing videos and a little bit of collabing with people, just been enjoying the community and all the love for with everybody.
Yeah, and you get a lot. Like, I know it kind of goes both ways. I know I hear it too. Like, I don't think anything about myself in any kind of communities, but like we just are apparently, right? Like we just right. And you do Unworthy. A lot of people do respect you, right? Like even some of the people I've brought on the show here, like it's Unworthy. I believe Raven Eye Studio actually had to say, like, I think you owe him some toys because you keep making him do these photos, and and he's got to buy stuff to keep up with your collabs and stuff. So I'm like, I think you might owe him a couple figs in this.
Yeah. Well, I try to pay it forward and kick everybody as much as I can forward, and send out some figures to people. And I'm always on the hunt. I'm always asking people what they're looking for, if there's anything, especially Canadians like yourself, if they're looking for things that might not be available up in the Great White North. I try to look for it, and I try to get it out as quick as I can. Sometimes I'm not so quick on that, but
it happens.
I definitely have sent some stuff to Ravens. He's a great guy. I love that guy. And I'm always happy to hear the compliments. I just don't, and I don't show the gratitude all the time because I don't want to seem too big-headed. And then I get in my own head because I'm like, I'm not thanking them enough for thanking me or whatever. So
no, I get
if anybody says that nice stuff about me, I appreciate it very much. I want to.
No, it's the same thing. Like there's even, within the realm of the toy photography, like we all kind of talk to the same people and associate with the same people. So of course the rowdy people are sticking up for the rowdy people anyways, but right. But like there's not the majority of people, right? Yeah, right. So the majority of the people are just I'm doing this with Unworthy, or I'm very interested in Unworthy. It's Unworthy, right? So no, you're very, very out there now, right? Like I know when I started following you and first like start following each other and stuff, I was still doing some toy photography, but I wasn't as big into it, right? And then I started seeing people doing like collabs and stuff and joined in with you guys and whatnot whenever I can, right? So And I've seen where everyone's work has come from when we all first started, during like COVID, where we all start progressing and getting even better, or trying at least. So, and that's what I loved about yours, because you went with it and started doing master classes. So do you want to fill us in some, in fact, I remember being in one of your master class, like it was the comic book covers, right? So do you want to give everybody kind of like a rundown on how you pick what you want to do for your master classes? Are they, are you getting inspo from just maybe other people, or wanting, hey, do you want to do some collabs on Power Rangers or whatever? Is it something you're planning, or is it something you're taking input from other people and kind of spinning it?
So when I first started with the master's class, it was a lot of legwork on my end of coming up with themes and fitting artists, picking people out to, do 2 artists to the theme, and trying to figure out who would fit the best and who would give the most or the best information to help as far as learning the craft. So there was a lot of it in the beginning for, I can't remember when I started. I think last September or whatever, or maybe it might have been further back than that. But I was doing it weekly, where I was organizing it, getting the artists on board, and getting their pictures, doing the collages, asking all the questions, writing the blogs. And it got to be a lot, but Toy Art Unlimited, I like that.
There's so, I know the comments are killing me. All good.
So I try to do it for every Friday with the master's class, and it got to be a lot when I was adding in all the other stuff that I was doing. So then I kind of bumped it back to every other week, and so I've started to put polls up on the UC Collabs page of, I put 4 random topics out there, like, do you want to see a master's class on Masters of the Universe, DC Multiverse, Legos, Funko Pops, portrait shots, more tutorials on lighting, custom figures, stuff like that. And then I just base it off of whatever the top vote is on the poll. And I have like a short list of, people in the community that I know I can reach out to and will do it, or I can kind of pressure him, like Clint asked before. Like, I can kind of pressure him into whatever I ask him to do. I just got to smile real nice and be like, pretty please, because the Rowdy Boys roll tight together. So whatever, anytime I ask him, he's always down for it. But I take that list of who I think would, based on who is going to give the best information or be the most helpful. And,
gotcha. Yeah,
I start with those people.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was Unhuman. I did mine with Unhuman. I did, and it was the comic book ones. And I remember even you like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what, and I'm like, well, dude, I just shoot and go. I don't do anything fancy. So like, but I remember like you giving me that task, and I was like, what the hell am I going to do with this? Like, there's so many comic books. What do I have figures for? And it was one of those ones where I was like, oh, it's like right in front of you. You just got these I can't remember which one it is. I did Spider-Man, I think, with the Venom and Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and Venom, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was just like, shit, you just got this Venoms. This is perfect. This comic book's right here, right? So it was one of those things that made me think, but I really didn't even have to think about it because I stole the inspiration from a comic book, right? But
that was the assignment.
Right. I understood the assignment, right? So
that's right.
And that's what I appreciate. And I know within the community, especially speaking to Raven Eye, like he said the same thing. He likes it because you can give him a task and then he can just run with it. Same with the luck of the draw too. Lucky Charms. I was like, I have no idea what to do. So I put Deadpool and some Lucky Charms as his lady man bits, whatever. Right. So it works. So no, I like it. Like sometimes it can make you think, or it's just like you're overthinking it and just do something simple. Right. So I appreciate how those classes can be great for both beginners and for like pros too, right? So it's very nice, and you guys are very supportive of people regardless of where they are in the community, right? Whether they're brand new or they're, I mean, of course we all butt heads with some people, but like for the most part everyone is fairly willing to give you some kind of advice or, you know, compliment you some way. There's not a lot of dragging down, which is very nice, right? Especially within these walls here. So
and that's where the master's class pretty much started from. I thought back to, I love doing the collabs, period. Like I would rather do collabs every day than it is just doing my own shots,
of course.
because it's just my own shot. You know, if it gets 100 likes or whatever. But I like doing the collabs because I like getting people who if they feel they're not getting as much traction, because for whatever reason I get some traction. I don't know if it's because I'm rowdy and I run my mouth or whatever, but like, I get some
Probably what it
traction.
is, my friend.
I just try to get as many people involved. So that was where the master's class kind of started off. Was I thought back to when I first started, there was like maybe 5 people that I reached out to that were like, absolutely, I'll give you pointers, I'll help you out, whatever you need, however I can help you grow. But there was a lot of people that I ran into that were like, they were treating it like nuclear codes, like they couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
No, figure it out, watch YouTube and figure it out yourself. And I was like,
Right.
okay, cool. Well, I'll remember that. I
Of course.
definitely will never ask you for anything.
Yeah, no, I understand that too well. I don't do, like I say to everybody, like I want to get into the toy photography a lot further. So it is something I try to jump in, whether it's with, I'll post something for PickBar or something for Toy Addict or whatnot with you. But like you guys make it look so easy. So thank you for making it look so easy and helping
Oh,
people.
well,
I know it's not. Trust me, I know it's not.
I know that if Clintastic's still in the chat, he can attest for it. I wrote a lot of coattails to get the talent that I've got. I asked a lot of questions. I
For
talked
sure.
to the right people
Yeah.
to get the pointers. Unhuman was when I first picked up a camera versus using my phone. Unhuman, I was constantly messaging Unhuman, constantly messaging Clintastic 4, constantly talking to Tuscan traders, like, how do I use this damn thing? Because I'm so used to
Your
my
phone.
phone just
Yeah.
doing all of this for me, but now there's all these settings I got to monkey around with. And those guys, they taught me everything. So the progression that you've seen on my shots isn't because I'm talented. It's
No,
because I asked the right people and I rode the
you
right
worked.
coattails we got.
Yeah, you work to get where you're at, right? And that's what it always is. It's your work shows. For example, I know sometimes my photos are kind of like I just put it there to have it there, but some of them actually put thoughts. But your work it shows how much energy you put into your photos, regardless of if it's going to be, a mediocre photo, it's going to show, right? So you
Yeah,
can see progressively how throughout the time your photos have become a lot better, right? So, like I have some of your photos up, and it still kills me because I'm just like, I don't know how any of you guys do these photos. Because I know, for yourself, do you have like a specified space zone that you do shots, or you just kind of set up as you go? Because that's where it blows my mind. Some of you guys just blow it and like it's done. And I'm like, but what did you guys do to get all that?
I mean, I am right now. I've been doing some house remodeling since last summer, and it's a lengthy project. So I'm kind of confined to just my kitchen table right now, or my coffee table, depending on if all the kids are asleep.
Of
I
course,
can't
yeah.
do it when the kids are awake. So I don't really have this big grand setup.
No,
I just focus on packing as much as I can. And actually, Toy Art Unlimited is the one that told me that. He said, you can do portrait shots all the time. Setting up a scene is what's going to make it, that's what's going to make a great shot. You
of
could
course.
you could stand your figure up and zoom in on his head and give it a little funny cock to the side, or rotate it or whatever. And yeah, sure, it's going to look cool, but a scene will always look better. And I've been trying to focus more on scenes lately, due to Toy Art Unlimited and Clintastic 4. They're big proponents on having scenes and Clintastic 4. I'm going to keep bringing his name up, I'm
Of course.
sure.
No
But he
worries. He's
said,
here. So.
always make sure that you show your figure's feet, because then there's no trickery involved. Like they can
Yep.
see that
What's
you're actually
happening?
doing a scene.
I see what you're saying in that regard, though. Some love, of course, from Toy Art Unlimited, of course.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I love that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a community of people you find many bad people in. Like we're there. We're
yeah,
all here
absolutely.
for the love of one thing and one thing only, right? It's what it is, right?
Yep.
Like the drama is not necessary in this line, really, right? So, Clintastic, of course, just saying, of course, you've come a long way from the very first day. No, we just got some hellos, people popping in. Sorry, I'm on two screens, guys. So of course I'm doing right. This is my introduction. Let's see some pics. So we will see some pics. I was actually looking at some today. So of course I want to hear more about, which I just found out that you had an action figure show on YouTube. I had no idea until today. Right. Yeah, are you going, is that something you're gonna pump more energy into, or is it something that's going to be kind of like a side thing to go with Unworthy and the UC collabs, or do you want to start branching off over there? What's your ideation for that avenue?
So the Unworthy AF show started out, it was originally just going to be like a master's class recap. Like I was going to do it once a month and just cover the master's classes for the month back when I was doing it once a week. And then it just had kind of gotten bigger because I was saying, use the hashtag Unworthy AF, hashtag Unworthy AF, keep using it, keep using it. And I was getting such tremendous response from it that Unworthy AF just kind of ended up being, now it's still once a month. I don't have the time to do it weekly for that, but I try to get on there and I try to cover as many of the photos as I can that have used that hashtag or tagged the UC collabs or my page directly. And I just try to talk about the shots, try to be as positive as I can for everybody. I give a little bit of negative feedback. I wouldn't say negative feedback. I give a little criticisms here and there, but it's never from a place where it's like, this is garbage, get it off my screen. Like, it's like, this looks really great. Maybe next time just try to think of maybe the angle or the picture coming in at, or the lights. And usually it's, minor little things that doesn't detract from the picture. I try to focus as much on like the story of the picture as I can, and give as much constructive criticism as I can. And I also, on that show, I get people on there, and sometimes I just run my mouth forever, and we don't even talk about pictures that much.
And you're just like done.
I'm known to be long-winded.
Yeah, that's okay too. It happens sometimes, and it is what it is. Yeah, no, some of the photos, of course, I'll share. So my favorite photo, I actually shared in the little video that I posted, because anyone who knows me knows that I like the raunchier stuff, just because like I'm always like, how does this not get banned? But like shit that I could do get banned, right? Right. So I actually love this photo. I don't know if you guys have to follow Unworthy, of course, to see this, but yeah, the morning after, I guess you guys were doing themes about last night or something like that, right? So is that Thor? I think Thor is one of your favorite characters, correct?
Well, that is actually the Unworthy Collector.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It is. It's a Hercules. It's the Hercules buck with the movie Fat Thor head on it, but it's actually a continuation of a lot of pictures that I've been doing, where that's actually the Rowdy Boys Unworthy figure.
Oh, good Lord. I love it though. It's great. Like this picture, even when I put it through like the video editing, just the way it popped off the screen, I'm like, this is too good, right?
It was like it was zooming right in. It was really cool.
Like too good, right? So yeah, no, I love this. Now, obviously you have a lot of accessories for this. Now, do you use dioramas and stuff, or do you use things like extreme sets? Do you build your own things? Like, how do you go about getting your backgrounds or your sceneries?
So actually, this diorama here in that picture is courtesy of Blitz Figs from the Pick Bar. Him and I were talking about dioramas, and I was like, I've got so much moving around constantly right now at my house that I don't have enough space to actually put anything. And he made me that and sent it to me. And it's like, it's collapsible. It's 3 pieces. It's 2 walls and the floor, and it's all magnetized, and you can collapse it, and you can make it look like an alleyway, or you can make it look like, in this case, my bedroom. And then I think in the back is just like a bookshelf that I had.
And yeah, you couldn't even tell. It's just kind of like set perfectly. That just kind of
blackout.
Right? Yeah, no, that's cool. I love this picture. Of course, Thor in the house saying hello.
Yes, Thor.
Of course,
another Pixar guy there.
Yeah, another awesome individual in the community. If you're not following, go ahead and do so. Of course, hopefully they'll join us one day on the show. I'm sure they will.
Gotta have them.
They will. I'm sure they will. If not, I'll hunt them down and force them to be on the show. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm maybe. You never know. Watch it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I love these things. I really wish I had some of the skill. Now, with like lighting and stuff, do you have special lights that you use, or are you using like ring lights or pod lights? Are you just using basic like overhead lights and like blacking it out? I have a couple techniques I do with lights, so I'm always interested to see what everybody else is doing.
So I have two they're Vivitar, they're called Vivitar. They're like $30, $40 brick lights at Walmart. I've got two of those in there, RGB, you could the full spectrum of colors, you can scroll through all the colors, and I use two of those. I have a couple ring lights. I don't usually use them too much because they're just really bright.
They are.
It really depends on what kind of shot I'm trying to make or what the overall look I'm going for. I use like white foam board to reflect the light. Like I can't think of what you call that.
But I know what you're talking about, though.
Thick
I don't
board
know
or
what it's called.
whatever. I can't
Yeah.
remember what it's called. So it softens the light, so it's not glaring on the figure, and it's kind of it's illuminating them, but without the harsh glare, as if
Yep.
the light was right directly on them. But most of
Now,
my shots are they're trickery. I don't
yeah.
really do too extravagant of a setup with lighting.
No, I suck at lights. Like even when you asked during that UC collab, I was like, I don't know what you want. I don't use lights. I suck at it. So,
I think your
but I
answer was I put them next to a window.
yeah, it's something
Or
like that. It was
something
like
like
I
that.
lit it, I shot it, and hope for the best. I'm just starting to use lights, so I see where you're coming with the ring lights. I have a really hard time shooting them because they either have like that one spot where that little glistening spot, and you don't want that in the photos, and you'll go to
Yeah.
edit that, and it just takes away from the whole picture because it'll cut something out or whatnot, right? So, but yeah, I've even been looking at those little cube things, which I think is exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
They're
I love them.
fairly easy,
There
eh?
was 40 Yeah, they were $40 or 30 or $40. I think the first one I bought, it was when they first came out, so they were 60. And then when I bought the second one, it was like, okay, these aren't that great. So they rolled it back down to 30 or $40. And but I love them. I mean, you can change the hue and saturation. You can go from natural light to fluorescent light, any color of the rainbow that you want. Only I do have an issue with if you're doing it by the hue checker,
Mhm.
being colorblind. Like I have a hard time scrolling through the colors. Like
Of
once
course.
it gets to certain colors, I have to hold it up in front of my wife's face and be like, what is this? I need
And hope
purple.
she
Make
could
this
see it too.
purple.
Yeah, no, I couldn't imagine trying to do like toy photography without being slightly colorblind in that regard because it's all
Oh
colors. Like it's all
yeah.
colors, right? So no, good for you though. Like I can say that there's been photos I've saved of yours and I'm like, hey, I want to try to replicate it in a way, but not duplicate, right?
That's
So
flattering. That's flattering. No,
yeah,
I love
right.
that.
So
Duplicate.
I have
That's
quite a
that's
few like
that's the best.
blitz or there's times like I have albums that, and the problem with me is I just don't find the time to do the photos right now, and we're all busy. Like we get it. Like so, kudos to all you guys who do it almost every day. Right? With that being said, do you shoot every day or do you do bulk days, or you just shoot up a bunch of scenarios, figures, or do you try to space it out so you're not overwhelming yourself?
For a while I was overwhelming myself and shooting like multiple shots a day. And I've since then I do have bulk days. Like if I have a day off during the week and my kids are at school, like I'll try to set up as many shots as I can. That's why I had so many of the Batman's pictures in a
Yep.
row, is because I had a day where I
Just
was like, I'm just gonna shoot all of these Batmans,
mhm,
and then um
just filter
but
them
then
through.
there's days where I just don't have time, so I go through a back catalog. But I did a Power Ranger thing back in November where I was
Mhm.
like, I was shooting every day. Um, I was shooting a new Ranger every day and then shooting like alternates of them. So like I've been trying to weed through my back catalog of Ranger shots, but I try not to shoot. I try to shoot every day, but
Mhm.
it's not conducive to. I feel like I'm forcing it. I'm not being as creative as if I wait for a good idea. That's why I haven't
Something
been posting as much lately. I've been trying to let ideas like the challenges,
simmer.
like the non-artistic like the non-artistic puts out a lot of good challenges, and I'm like, I try to let them simmer, and then I'm like, got it.
Yep.
And then I'll spend
Oh,
a whole
sure.
day just shooting that one picture until it's completely right.
Yeah. Well, that kind of just answered my next question, which was just going to be like, how is your shooting style? Are you planning it, or are you just waiting for it to simmer? Right. So I have a hard time because unless if you're giving me a UC collab or someone's like, here's our topic today, I can pretty well run with it, but I'm not very like outside the box. Right. I try to be. So, and I have been a few times. Right. And I'm just like, oh, but I see like you are able to take it outside the box. Like, do you find yourself more creative in your own sense, or do you find leaning towards getting the ideas from everyone? Like, I know you just said they have great ideas, but do you find most of it is filtered through and you're like, wait a minute, like they put the inclination there, but it's more yours? Like, does that make sense what I'm saying? You're owning what they're putting out, right?
So like with I'm trying to think of one of the last challenges I did. The Hero comic book cover one that Biko San was Biko San 26. He did like he put out a challenge like do a hero or a villain comic book cover, and like so I was scrolling through Toy Addict.
Yeah,
I was
always.
scrolling through like I was trying to scroll through comic book covers and looking, trying to force myself to feel inspired. And then I just was like, you know what? It has to be a villain and a comic book cover. It doesn't have to be like a comic book cover recreation.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that new I got the Black Manta Mafex, and I was like, I'm going to shoot it. I don't like this figure at all, but I'm going to shoot it.
Yeah.
And I did, and I actually was very happy with those.
Yeah, it's a cool figure. It's not something I'm going to get, but it looks pretty dope. So I get to see it anyways, right? So you guys all enjoy your figures.
I don't know the big noise about like Mafex. They're cool. Like, yeah, they got hella good articulation, great looking figures, but they're itty bitty tiny things. Like,
are they? I don't have any. So,
yeah,
I think the smallest is Mezco I have.
That looks pretty small. Like, here's a McFarlane Robin.
Okay.
He's like,
okay, yeah,
he's almost, he's bigger than Black Manta. Like Black Manta should be bigger than like Spider-Man, and I had him up against a Spider-Man Marvel Legend. I was like, this is garbage. I can't use it. Like, I'm not gonna buy more Mafex because they're so expensive. So like, I can't just. What am I gonna do? Just shoot Black Manta all by himself all the time? Like, he's a great figure. I could shoot some great portrait shots with him, but like, I don't like doing portrait shots all the time.
No, and like, it'll get boring, and like, we already know it'll get boring eventually, right? The same portrait, like how many angles can you do the portrait, right? Put some background, like mix up it, right? So no, I don't have any Mafex. I guess it's Mafex, not Mafex, Mafex, however you say the damn words. You don't really see them here too much, right? So I hear it mostly from Instagram about Mafex, but it's not something that I'm like, I need to go get these, right? Like, I would prefer to have 45 or 4 different Marvel Legends for that, right?
Right.
That's just
I don't want to sound
awesome.
like I'm bashing on Mafex.
No,
like, they're great.
Not.
Like, if you love them, buy them. Like, if you love them, buy them.
Of course.
They are great. They're great looking. They have great articulation. Like, I can get that Mafex Black Manta in some poses that I can't get the McFarlane Black Manta into.
We don't talk about McFarlane on this show.
I'll talk about McFarlane.
I will too, but whether anyone will like it is a different story.
Like, I can't get as much for the $90 or $100 or whatever it was that Mafex was. Like, I can't get as much use as I can out of a $30 Marvel Legend or a
for sure, like
$60 NECA or whatever.
Yeah, no, I see that it, like, I don't have any Mafex, but like, even with Mezco, like, I have a few Mezco, right? So, which I love. Mezco's great. They're just too small for what I want them for. Like, you have to plan around them. But they're amazing. Everyone I've gotten has been a gift. So luckily I haven't spent the money, but it is, again, one of those things like, they're so fragile. I know I have one that broke like instantly. It came out of the box, like a joint broke off. And I was like, ooh, for the money that we're spending on that, I'd rather have these Legends. Plus I'm getting more accessories. I can change things around. I can do so many stupid things with like some of these characters, right? So, and the same thing, if you love Mezco and you're a complete Mezco collection, go nuts. All the power to
We'll
you.
buy them.
I'd
Yeah.
rather
And I
go.
love your shots.
Yeah,
Put your
right. They
shots
are
out
great.
there with your Mezcos. I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be cheerleading you. I love,
Yeah, like,
I love that
this
you're
is my
happy.
favorite one.
If
This
you're
guy's my
happy
favorite.
about the figure you bought, then I am happy for you. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if I don't like the figure or not.
Yeah, no, they're just too small for me. Like, this is the first one I got was the Friday the 13th one. He's gone. Yeah. So Jason, and then I end up getting. They're cool, right? If you like them,
I mean, my biggest issue is and I know this is going to be a very unpopular opinion. I am not that hot on, I don't really care about soft goods. I want capes to be soft goods. I think every figure that has a cape should have a soft goods.
They should be able to flow in the wind. I say it every time.
Cut it out of cotton. Like, come on, who are we kidding? But like, I don't really care about, like, I'm glad that people get excited about their Mezco figures, but like, I don't care if I have a figure that can change shirts. Like,
no,
I don't know. Maybe it's a mental issue with myself. But I don't like changing the clothes on my figures because then I feel like I'm playing with dollies. And like my grandfather's voice pops in the back of my head. He's like, "What are you doing? Playing with dollies?" You know, and he spikes a beer can on my head. Like,
I got you.
I don't really care about soft goods, and I know people get very amped about it, and I'm amped for you to be so excited.
Of course,
personally,
if that's
I don't
what
really
you're into.
Care about your soft goods.
No, I'm honestly not gonna lie to you. I'm the same way. Like, I have a couple, like some of the retro cloth NECAs, just because you have to have them to fill the collections, like your Halloweens and stuff like that. Laurie Strode was probably the funniest one. Laurie Strode and Dr. Loomis. They're out of whack proportion wise. I don't know if you've seen them next to the actual NECAs. They just look really funny. But their soft goods are good if you like them, but you can't do anything. Like I was saying with the capes, none of the capes that they have are really flowy, or you can't, like, if I were to put a fan there, it's not going anywhere anyways. So
because they need to wire. Like,
they need
and that's the only complaint I have about soft goods. Like, if you're gonna have a soft good cape, you should wire that
in the bottom, right?
You can whip it around, you know.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Hopefully we see some more of that in the future. I have kind of stopped buying some figs just this month, but I'm waiting to see what the new coolest toys are coming out next month. So,
yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming out.
I know. I just really want the Batman utility belt. That's what I'm looking for.
I was watching your last episode.
Yeah, I want it so bad. I will wear it everywhere.
Yeah.
I will never take that thing off.
Right? I can see her posting videos of her doing the weights
with the Batman belt. Oh,
I don't know what any of the weight moves
That's
are.
okay, don't worry.
As you can tell, I do not go to the gym.
Nobody's judging.
No, I can see you doing the stuff at the gym
with the belt. Yeah, and just start shooting things out. That would be so awesome. Like, what? You want this weight?
Somebody.
Yeah, something. Why not? Right? No one will ever know. Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Is there anything that you're excited that's coming out? I know people have been mentioning, like, there's a new Flash that just dropped, I guess, from McFarlane. Yeah. I haven't even seen it yet, so I don't even know when we're talking about.
Yeah, the new Batmobile. That's I'm pretty excited about that. As far I'm very excited about McFarlane's Steel and the Tim Drake Robin that's coming out. I'm very excited about those. I'm very, very excited that the Hasbro team's finally putting out some Turbo Rangers. Very excited about that. And finally going to get the Black Dino Charge Ranger. Very excited about that. As far as anything that I'm very super, super excited about, I cannot wait to get it's got to be the Black Dino Charge or Dino Thunder Jason David Frank Ranger. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah. No, I there's too much stuff that I want. There's too much. I have to finish parts though before I can start getting new things. Power Rangers. Who's your favorite Power Ranger?
Oh, Adam Park all day.
Yeah.
Adam Park. He's the second black Mastodon Ranger, Zeo number 4 Green Ranger, Turbo Green Ranger. He was always my favorite when I was a kid growing up. And I remember there's one time I used to get these little magazines when I was a kid. They used to send these magazines. You subscribe, and they'd send all these Ranger things. And my sister had the biggest crush on Adam Park, and she would cut all of the pictures of his face out and put them on her wall in her bedroom. And then I would go in her bedroom and I'd rip all of them apart. Like, you can't, if I can't have him, nobody can.
So
And then I'd be
rowdy
like,
of you.
I'd be more upset that I ripped up my own pictures than I was for her cutting them out.
Oh, I think your
Yeah, I
sister's gonna
do.
probably beat your ass after that and telling her.
I do want that Toy Addict hot
I do
toy.
too. How
Yeah.
much? Pre-order up, yo!
Yeah.
Pre-order.
I mean, I'm gonna pre-order 7 of them. I don't want to
That's
be
right.
called a scalper, but I'm gonna be a scalper at
That's
that
right.
point.
Can you just send one this way? That's all I ask. Because I got to give one to Toy Addict's twin here. So I'm just they can look at each other, play with each other. Who knows?
Yeah, Triplet
God.
Toy Addicts.
Okay. Yo, I think Thor's dying because you're just totally talking about your sister cutting out pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
No, we all
She
have
did.
sisters.
Her and I have talked about it before. Just recently, I was like, remember when you cut that picture of Adam out of my magazine and I ripped it to shreds, and then I was pissed off at myself.
That's awesome. I think we all had like I had a sister that was like a New Kids on the Block freak, so she had like the dolls and like those stuffies that they had back in like the I don't know. You probably don't know it because different genres for everybody, but same kind of idea. You cut them out on the wall, and always like, what's wrong with you people? Right? So I guess that's a common thing back then. Geeks are
Funny
us,
story
right?
about cutting stuff like that up is I actually had a amalgam comic. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like DC and Marvel got together and did the
Okay.
amalgam universe.
Yep.
So they
Gotcha.
had all these characters that were like amalgamations of, and oh, son of a bitch, that's where they got the name from. Amalgamations. They were amalgam comics. Now it's all coming together. They had this they had Superman that was mixed with Captain America.
Okay. Yep.
And so it was like the super soldier. And I remember when I was in like 7th or 8th grade, my sister told me all about how you should put pictures in your locker. And I had this weird comic, and I was like, I don't even know what this is. And it was this super soldier, and I cut a whole bunch of like the Superman symbols off of the shield, like because the shield was, instead of the Captain America shield, it was the Superman symbol was the shield.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm going for this comic book, and I'm cutting all these Superman logos out, and I'm cutting like the Captain America stars out. And then like it wasn't until I was graduated, I was like, holy shit, that comic book was valuable, and I cut it to pieces to hang it up in my locker.
I know. It's funny how even some of the toys here that I've had and they're colored on and they're wrecked, they're banged up. So like they've been 30, 35 years old at this point. And I was like, could you imagine we took care of these things? Could you imagine we took care of these over 30 years? So no, I see that. And same with comic books and stuff like that, right? I don't know what we're doing, but no David Bowie.
David Bowie. Yes,
None.
all David Bowie.
No.
I want Dark Star David Bowie. That's the figure I want. Dark.
Okay. Right. No, I don't know if there's anything there's nothing popping out to me right now, right? That's the thing. There's nothing major. I really I just want the creature still from NECA. Like that's gonna be a cool one to grab once that comes out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
From the Black Lagoon. Oh
yeah, from the Black Lagoon. There hasn't been much lately for me. I love toys, as you all know if you follow me on Instagram. There's usually a post every day, but I'm kind of just like, right? So focusing on other things, of course. But we'll see what pumps out. Because usually, like with the cons coming up in the summer, that's when they start announcing more cool stuff, right? So the Batmobile is cool.
The McFarlane winter reveals or winter palooza, mayonnaise palooza, whatever.
Whatever.
These days. Like he was putting out some like bangers. I was like, oh, and like I was just kind of starting into my incline of buying McFarlane figures because I avoided them for so long, just because I'm not the biggest DC fan.
No,
and then I started getting into the evil Batmans from the Dark Knight's Metal comic series, and then he was putting out. I was like, oh man, I gotta have Steel. Oh man, I love Robin. Robin and Nightwing. They're my two guys. Like I gotta have those figures. And
for sure.
New Hush Superman. I don't even like Superman, but man, that new Hush Superman, that looks dope. Like
Yeah.
We was putting them right out for that winter thing they used.
Yeah. I will say, like, I don't show it much. I have quite a bit of DC here at McFarlane here too, aside from Spawn. Like, it's a lot of the multiverse, and there's some in here just looking. I'm like, I have no business having it, but they just look cool, right? So no business doesn't
That's
fit in,
what
like
half of my
Superman.
collection is now.
Yeah, like Superman, I don't really
Half
collect.
my collection is like, why do I own this?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
And that's what it is, right? But I love it too, because then you'll just be sitting there like, wait, I can do a stupid picture and and this works because it's just so out of place, right? But no, that's cool. What is the biggest thing you have in your collection, fig wise? Do you have tons of DC or Marvel? Is it fairly spread out evenly, or do you have a preference over?
I don't want to say the wrong thing here, but I have almost every single Lightning Collection Power Ranger. Like,
No, is that a
I am
wrong thing to say?
I am a big time Power Ranger nerd. I love the shows, the movies, the comics, the games, everything. I just recently stopped buying the Lightning Collection figures, and
It's too much.
that wasn't even because they were putting out ones that I didn't want or
Mhm.
that they were putting out too many. It's because the last like maybe 5 of them that I bought, out of 5 that I bought last, only one of them was actually any good. Like the quality has gone down. Uh, they've been really disappointing. So I haven't been collecting them as hot and heavy, but I have my biggest collection is definitely the Power Rangers Lightning Collection.
Yeah, no, and it's crazy to see how far like I remember watching Power Rangers when I was in school. I remember the original Power Rangers. We had Kimberly, I think it was Kimberly Ann, Yellow Ranger, whatever,
Yep.
Pink Ranger. Yeah,
Emily,
yeah, yeah,
Creamy.
right. Switch them. Right. Yeah. So, and I think it was Jeannie passed on, and like a couple of them passed on now, obviously. But now my son is starting to pick up Power Ranger figures. So now he's got like and forgive me because I don't remember any of their names. I am not a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers nerd, but he's got like that pumpkin looking guy, like figure. I don't even know
Yeah, yeah.
what he is, a jack o' lantern or
Yeah,
something. And
Pumpkin
like the
Rapper.
pig
Pumpkin
guy, like
Rapper.
the pig with the snout. I remember him, the bad guy, like that weird
Yep.
pig. And of course, Rita or whatever her name is, right?
Yeah, you gotta have Rita.
You got to have Rita. So he's starting to become into it. So I'm now starting to relearn some of this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know the names, but I remember that pig was in there. And I remember Rita was her name and
Yep.
the weird stuff. And there was that weird guy in the sky or whatever he was. Not the sky, but whatever that thing was.
In the tube, yeah.
Yeah,
Glass
tube,
tube
right?
Jesus.
Right. So no, it's cool. So I love that a lot of people are now super back into it or haven't even lost the touch with it, of course, because some
Yeah.
people are just legit fans all along. And it's becoming so popular now that I'm starting to see a lot more of it on shelves here. And I don't know if it's just because people aren't buying it or if it's actually
Well,
just renting so much.
there's a
Right?
big
Is there?
reunion show coming out tomorrow. Yeah, like
Oh, really? And
most
you would
of the
know that.
original
See?
cast. Yeah.
Oh, that's most of them, right? Yeah,
And
for
we
sure.
have a big Thunder Thursday collab coming tomorrow on Wednesday, with to in homage to the big reunion show. I can't think of. I'm drawing a blank on what that reunion show is called, but like David Yost is coming back as Billy, the Blue Ranger.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I remember
the
some of
original
who
Black
there.
Ranger's coming back. Rocky, my favorite Red Ranger. Yes, I said it. Thor. Rocky, my favorite Red Ranger. He's coming back. It's going to be a wild show. I wanted to take the day off from work just so that I could stay home and stream it and watch it like
The
2 or
Super
3
Bowl.
times. But
Like,
I can't take. I got to be a responsible adult. It sucks sometimes being a responsible adult.
did you pre-order
I
any of the
didn't.
30th?
I
No.
did not
No.
pre-order any of them. I don't dig what Hasbro's doing right now with the re-releases. I understand why they're doing it. I'm not hating on them for why they're doing it. I know it's a cash grab thing.
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't appreciate the way that they're doing it though, because they're giving us the same figure. And I don't want to hear anybody saying that, oh, the articulation is going to be better. Well, I don't know, because the last 5 or 6 Marvel or Lightning Collection figures that I bought, the articulation sucks. Their
Mhm.
hips suck. Their chest pivot suck. If you really wanted to hook us all in, like the people that have been buying the Lightning Collection, you could have just sent the updated civilian heads, uh, the morphers, the new weapons. You know, you could have put that in like a big I would pay $200 or $300 for that accessory set
Over.
rather than buy all of those figures again. Like, because they're essentially the same figures. Like, um, the only big difference that I did see out of the last reveals is the Jason David Frank Green Ranger, you know, that comes without the shield. He doesn't have the gold bands on his arm. That's the only thing I noticed that was different. But I also noticed that those are on the Red Ranger, so maybe they're swappable. You could move them, which you could have put those in accessories.
Oh, for sure. I was
And
at
the morphers, you could put out a morpher set, like
just
2 morphers per ranger, a closed one and an open one, and the hand sculpts too, because you're going to need those hand sculpts.
different. Yeah,
You
for
could
sure.
put all of those out, and I would happily send you $150
Right.
happily.
Oh, for
I'd do
sure.
little dances out sending you that money. But putting these figures out and charging the price that they're doing for each one, I'm just not with it. I
No.
don't dig it. I could get Tim Bree 3D on Instagram, or you know, pick any of those 3D guys. You could pick them all. They can make you those morphers. You have to paint them. I suck at painting, so like I'd
Of
have
course.
to hire my daughter to paint them for me. But I don't dig what they're doing. I didn't pre-order any of them. I kind of want to do the Red Ranger. But and that's the other thing too. They could have added 2 civilian heads to those. Like if they were doing the Yellow Ranger, they could have done Trini and Aisha. They could have, for the Black Ranger, they could have done Zach and Adam. For the Red, Jason and Rocky. Like that would have made it more appealing to me. But they're a greedy corporation that I'm not backing them anymore.
No, I understand. They did, and obviously it's a different crossover, but I find that with the crossovers too. So like Playmates with the Ninja Turtles and Cobra Kai, it was the same turtles that Playmates have been pumping out for years, whatever. And I said the same thing. I was like, I would have rather just bought the Cobra Kai guys by itself, but it was the whole TMNT crossover thing, right? But now with that, how do you feel about the Ninja Turtles crossover with the Power Ranger set? Like
I love it.
Yeah, you do like it?
Yeah,
Hit or miss?
I've been on Cobra Dad _ on Instagram. I've been on his show, The Weekly Habit. We've been talking about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Ninja Turtles 2 comic line. He's had me on there to talk about the comics. And it's been a lot of fun. I love the original series. The second series has been bonkers, and I love it. And I love how many hillbillies are getting mad about the Rangers being, or the turtles, the human forms of the turtles being black, and they're mad. And I just love seeing how mad they all get about it. I love it.
Like different, right? So, no, the figures I could have done without, but like I like the concept, right? Like I won't buy any of those figures. I like the concept. I like the idea. Figure wise here, I was just like, it's another company cash grab, because I'm sure it's the same Power Rangers in those sets, right? So that are already out there.
I mean, for the Rangers, the morph versions of the turtles, I bought them all. I bought every single one of them. And when they do the Rangers as like the dinosaur, you know, when they mutate into the dinosaurs, if they put those out, I'll probably stop my Hasbro hatred enough to buy those. Like, because I love it. I love the design. I love the concept. I love the story that they're telling. I absolutely love the Ninja Turtle Power Ranger crossover.
No, it's cool. I love the Ninja Turtles, but I have mixed emotions on what they're doing with crossovers and stuff.
I think there is so many of the stupid crossovers, like the Cobra Kai Ninja Turtles, the Street Fighter Ninja Turtles.
That one's silly too.
Stranger Things Ninja Turtles, and then like Hasbro's no better because they just did this Cobra Kai Power Rangers thing. And it's like, what in the hell is this? Are you gonna give us a Hasbro or a Power Rangers Cobra Kai comic book? Because I got to tell you, I'm not interested. I'm not buying that. I'm like, what?
No, some of them I stop and think. I'm like, "Ooh, I know it's trendy, but no, it's not. Like, it's still gonna be
Yeah, it's
there." And
not like Cobra
no,
Kai's not even that good of a show.
no,
I
I
said it. It's
watched
not
it. I'm
that good
like,
of a show. It's boring.
no, I'm like, bring me back to Karate Kid. Like, that's where it was at. It wasn't
Yeah.
really right. So
Have Daniel LaRusso break bad. Have the Karate Kid be a bad guy now. That'd be
right.
cool.
No, for
I might
sure.
be interested. Probably not, but I might.
No, I know. I will say though, I thoroughly enjoyed the TMNT Cobra Kai because my very first well thought out toy photography photo was Kojo or Dojo Die, which was Daniel LaRusso getting killed by Chucky and Freddy and all that for my very first full fledged photography on this page. So that was my very first photo I posted on here, actually, I believe, where I was like, I actually tried, guys, and that's where I started following all you guys. That was like 2 years ago, though, right? But he
It's
is still,
insane. You've been 2 years.
yeah, about 2 years ago, I
That's
think I
2 years.
started. Yeah, it's been about 2 years, roughly.
Oh, did you
Roughly.
just say a boot?
Abu. No, I didn't say Abu. No.
Boot?
Abu, like as in the monkey from Aladdin, or
No, a boot like
oh, Abu. Oh, about no, like a no,
I
God,
don't
if
know what
that
you're
sounds.
talking about.
I may have. Who knows? I don't know. I may have talked about that. Yeah. So about 2 years.
Yeah, a little bit. A
It
little
was
bit
it
of
was
booted.
great. No, I am a little bit Canadian. Someone actually told me the other day that I have a Canadian accent, and I was like, "Shut up!" Right? So I was like, "That's okay. I'm cool with that." Um, yeah, no, I'm excited to see what else for Power Rangers. More so for my son, though. So if you're collecting all that, good for you, man. Like, well, like,
Yeah.
do you shoot a lot of like? Is all your stuff in one spot, or do you have like your stuff branched out in different areas? Like, I have
It's
toys in
chaos.
every room, right? Yeah,
It's
different
chaos
areas.
in my
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
I can't display like basically what you see on my shelf is just like this is the only shelf really, and
Gotcha.
it's very small, and it's
Gotcha.
only because it's in my room, and my kids can't get into it.
That's right.
I mean, they'd still try.
They try.
98% of my collection, they're in totes, toolbox. I got this big rolling toolbox deal, like a stackable toolbox that you can take apart,
Oh, I
and
know
that's
which
what I
ones you're talking about. Yeah.
because at one time I had all of my Power Rangers displayed,
Hmm.
and then I'd go to work, and my wife would send me pictures, and there's hands all over the
Yeah.
place. The humanity, the humanity of it all. Like I still speaking of the Ninja Turtle Power Ranger crossover, I still can't find two of the hands from one of the Ninja Turtle sets because they were in the box, and my son opened the
Just
boxes
toss it.
and just everywhere, just
No,
everywhere. My house is only so big. I still can't find those two
no,
hands.
I totally understand that. I have that problem quite often here as well. Either it's whether it's opening the box, or I'm like, okay, I know that those jokers were sitting there. Where are they in the house now? Like they're hiding somewhere. I get
Yeah,
it too. Don't worry about. And I have a boy as well, so I hear boys are a little bit trickier in that regard. With
they
that.
are. Yeah,
So,
my daughter never gave me this much trouble.
no, hey, no, definitely. So
Never.
it's always fun. Now, obviously, are all your kids into the toy photography at all, or is it something that they're
Oh yeah.
interested in? Yeah. So
My
do
daughter, no. My daughter
no.
thinks I'm silly.
Yeah.
She wants to do a couple of unboxing videos with me.
Aw.
Uh, just because she wants to talk about it like she has no idea.
Yeah.
So I was like, what if we did like because I call her Boo Bear.
Gotcha.
That's my pet name for my
Nope.
daughter is Boo Bear. She goes, what if we did like a unboxing?
Um, that's
And where I just open the figures and I talk about them like I don't know what they are,
those
and
are
you're
the
just kind of
best.
in the background and you're on your phone like I'm trying to beat this level of Candy Crush. Stop talking to
Yes,
me.
that would be fun because I've seen a couple like where they'll get their wife. Someone will get their wife to be like, "Hey, just do a video," and it's like she's like, "I have no idea." Okay, so there's this box and this things
Yeah, yeah,
inside, so I think with a kid that would be so
yeah,
fun, like
yeah.
so
I'm
much fun.
I'm thinking about doing. I was hopefully gonna do the new Ultimate Edition AJ Styles and Bret Hart. I was gonna have her open it because she actually does like wrestling. She likes
Nice.
watching wrestling with us.
Yep.
We watch all the pay-per-views here, and we have like an actual wrestling belt that we bet, and whoever has the most wins at a pay-per-view, like that's the champ for the month or whatever. So I was gonna have her open those, but it just didn't work out right now. So,
well, Blitz is lucky. His kids are too old that they don't touch stuff. Well,
yeah, well,
aren't you
man,
lucky?
I got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. I'll lend you.
I know. You can have mine. He's turning 6.
You have them for
They're
a weekend.
crazy.
You'll
In
get
one
rid of all
weekend,
those details.
yeah. So all your stuff will be gone, right? In one heart, one quick, swift movement, right?
Yep.
Yeah. No, I love that. I do love the kids for that because even with my son, when I'm not doing photos, he's still like, oh, there's a photo, for example, I was looking at, I think it was actually Blitz's page. I was on Blitz's page to look at some stuff. And he's like, ooh, and he saw a photo that he liked on there. And like, he was just glued to it. Right. So I feel like it's going to be something that once I start committing more time personally to, that he's going to want to be right in on it, which is cool. Right. Because then it's a cool hobby because I can't wrestle. I don't want to wrestle anybody. Like
Yeah.
he wants to wrestle all the time. Like, dude, I'm an old lady. Like we don't want to wrestle. Right.
My sons are constantly trying. Anytime if they see me even get a flashlight out at my house, I could be getting a flashlight out to crawl underneath the house for something, and they'll be like, "Oh, Dad, you doing a shot? Shot? Are you doing a shot? Let's go. Are you gonna go do a shot?"
Let's go
And
do
then
a shot right now.
I have to set up something for them. And I actually have a whole folder right now in my on my phone of stuff that my oldest son has set up, and we've done, like, I set my camera up for him and he does the picture, like, he taps on the screen to take it, and it works out perfect because Non-Artistic is doing a challenge right now, like a kid did this or a kid inspired me for this, and I'm like, man, I got a whole portfolio of those. I could do one a week right now. I could do one every day for 2 weeks and I'd still never run dry.
Oh, for sure. And that's what I love because they'll do it even when you're not looking. Like my son takes my cell. I do a lot of mine on the phone, but I do have a DSLR as well. I have a trick here because not using lighting, right? That's where I have to kind of like pick which one I'm going to shoot with whatever theme I'm going. But yeah, there's been times where I just put something in and he's out there with his own little thing. So I bought him like a little tiny fake camera. So like you'll see him just.
That's awesome.
Right? Yeah, and that's stuff you
that's
want,
awesome.
right?
You know, AB photos, A.B_photos35. He does a lot of stuff with his sons. Like
yes.
It's a father and son team.
Of course.
All the pictures, and it's so inspiring. And the biggest thing that inspires me about is that man has the patience of a saint, because about 5 minutes into trying to do a picture with my kids, I'm like, get the hell out
Yeah,
here.
back
Stop
off.
touching my stuff. Leave me alone.
No,
He's amazing with his photography, and the fact that he's got his kids incorporated with it all the time. I'm jealous that I don't have that sort of patience.
Yeah.
Because him and his kids have got skills. Like, they are constantly putting out all these amazing shots.
No, for sure. But I think
and
they're a
there's
little
some
bit
other
older.
Pop and Sons too. Pop and Sons.
Yeah. They're a little bit older though, I believe. The sons, if I remember correctly, they're not like 2 and like
Yeah, I don't
ours
think
are
they're
young.
2 and 5. I think I should know that right off the top of my head.
Hey, I follow him too. I get it. Right, but yeah, and that's the one thing is I hope that it just gives us patience, right? Like we'll learn the patience over time, right? So, for me, it's personally, I'm just like, you're doing something more creative than I would have came up with at your age of 6. Right. And that's where I was like, if this is what you want to do, take pictures of toys, have at it. You're not harming anyone. Right. So
I learned a pretty quick lesson with my oldest because he wanted to do shots with me all the time. And I was all for it in the beginning. I was like, yeah, give me an idea and I'll set it up. And the lesson I learned was, do not put an expensive Storm Collectibles figure of Goro in this 5-year-old's hand. He dropped it off the table and it landed on the ankle and it busted the ankle peg. And I still to this day have this expensive Goro figure that I can't even get another ankle for. And I try not to be mad at him. I'm the dumbass that put an expensive figure in his hand. Like, I can't be mad at him. But.
No,
and then Blitz is always putting pictures of his Goro, and I'm like, yeah, I see what you did there.
I know. I know those Storm collectibles. Like, I actually just did a shot, and I never posted because I have like the same thing. Like, I have a folder of like shots, where I'm like, do I use it? I not. But I actually just did Quintero from the Storm collectibles with I can't remember who it was. But yeah, just the amount of money these things are worth, I'd be devastated if I like here and he broke it. Because I'm like, oh, it's not a Marvel Legend where I get 15 different feet from 15 different characters. I can just foot swap or whatever, right? So
That's why with
No.
that Mafex, the one, well, I have two Mafex black mantas, and it's a whole nother story. But I have not let my kid. No, don't even look at it. Don't even look at it. Your stare is going to break it. You just go in the other room and get your reaction Super 7 figure GI Joes, and you just leave me alone right now.
Yeah, I know. I've had to buy, when I buy myself something, I'll buy something used to kind of distract. Like, hey, I got this nice one here. You can have this one here. Right? It hasn't been working. I tried. We tried. It doesn't work. They're like, but that one's nicer.
I did that with I've been buying a lot of McFarlane figures, and I bought some of the superhero lines there. I bought some of the yes Blix, yes you. You're always trying to make me jealous with your Goro figure because of his good ankle. And
he's just rubbing it right in.
Yeah, he is. I can't even shut it out if I'm trying. I have to take a minute here.
I do love
those superheroes, and my sons they leave me alone. They play with those. They've got Nightwings and Flash, and Green Lanterns. I'm like, good, you guys go play with those and leave me alone.
Yeah, no, they're fun kids with that stuff. Luckily, most of my action figures survive. It's the other stuff. It's like the little accessories that always go missing and stuff like that. There's only one expensive thing that's been broken so far, and it was one of the Mezcos, sadly. Like, damn, right? So now I've learned to, right? You don't give them the stuff that you don't want broken. So that's where I do appreciate McFarlane, because at that price point, if you're going to break it, I'm not crying.
Yeah,
right?
I can go buy two more right now.
That's right. I'll go back
and
that's right, and they're probably on clearance, right? Like, and even in the store here, some of them, right? So, no, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the kids grow up after taking from what their parents that are within the toy community photography realm and how they spin it, right? Because we didn't see a lot of toy collecting growing up. Like, we did it, but there was no social media, there was no there was internet, but it wasn't as versed as it is now, right? So you're not seeing all this stuff. So we didn't have the opportunity with our parents, not all of us at least, be like, oh, there's toys, we could do this stuff. And now toy photography is becoming so big. With toy photography, was it something that you just came across one day and you're like, this is something I can do? Or is it something that you saw when you were younger, or even from your toys that you were younger, that you just kind of like stuck with something? Like, it just, you know what I mean?
Actually, that's a great question, and I'm glad that the two responsible parties have been in the chat, and that's, I'm gonna take it back to Green Geek 88 and Clintastic 4. I say it as often as I can say it. I put it all on them. If it weren't for them two guys, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I started my page as an intention of just showing off my collection, because I've always collected, and I've always, up until I had kids, little kids that could walk around and disturb my stuff. Like, I always had them displayed, and my friends and my family all thought it was kind of a weird thing, and I was like, whatever, it makes me happy, shut up, leave me alone. And that was my intention, was I was just going to display my figures. I actually had this big idea that I was going to review figures, and like, people would give a shit about my reviews. And I was following this guy, Assassin Pool, on Instagram. He's an awesome account, check him out. And I was like, man, I love the way that he does these storyboards, where it's like a big story of like Lord Draken fighting the Rangers. I'm going to try that with Ares from Marvel Legends training the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So like, I was trying to do all these big shots, and I was like, I suck at this. I can't do this. I don't know how to edit out these flight stands. I don't know how to edit out these wires. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I took like 30 pictures. I posted one, and Green Geek 88, he shared one on the pick bar. And I remember I was like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Yeah.
These guys like my stuff. I'm going to do this more now. I'm going to do more shots. And then I talked to Clintastic 4. He was doing the Clintastic 4 Valentine's Day. and I probably annoyed the shit out of him because I was like, how do I do this? Like, do I use
Every
your
5 minutes.
graphic again? Like, do I put that on every picture? Do I tag you? Can you give me your phone number? Can I just call you real quick?
I'm laughing at some of these comments. I'm sorry.
So if it weren't for those guys being so Green Geek, putting my picture out there when I was just like posting some random thing that I was like, this is the 1 out of 30 pictures that I actually posted, and Green Geek was like, I love it. I want to see more. And Blitz and Thor and Yimbo were on the pick bar, and they were like, I want to see more. I want to see more. I want to see more. And I was like, I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna do more, guys. I'm gonna do more right now.
No, I get that, because I will tell you this in all wholeheartedness. I think what really brought me back into, like, I did my one major shot where I put a lot of effort, and that was the Cobra Die. But I remember when you actually nominated me on the pick bar for my Spider-Man photo coming from like the building shots. And that was when I was like, oh, someone likes my photos. It's not just a gimmick here. Like, people like stuff. And then I started being introduced to more like Blitz and Green and seeing all their stuff. And that's where I was just like, okay, I can start like doing some stuff and taking some bits from them. So I will say thank you for that, because if it wasn't for that one pick bar that first time, just like what you're saying, and having that, I would have probably just been like, forget it. Like, I'm not taking another, not that I don't love them, because they're fun to have regardless, because it's just a fun thing to do. But no,
and that's
definitely
the kind of energy I try to bring to like Unworthy AF, or like just my page in the stories. Like, if you tag me in the posts or use my hashtag. I did meet Toy Addict through
I know. I can't even with him. He's just all over the place all the time.
I saw his profile picture, and I was like,
done. Yeah, well, I gotta follow that. Subscribe.
So I try to bring all of that energy into. I try to always focus it back to how I felt, like that excitement and that joy that I was like, holy shit, Green Geek 88 likes my picture. Holy shit, he's going to talk about my picture on the pick bar. I don't even know what the pick bar is, but I love it, and they're going to love me. And then I watched the pick bar, and I was like, I'm watching this show every week. I love this. This is amazing.
And that's exactly how it goes. Like, it was the same for me. Is like, I've heard bits and pieces about the pick bar, obviously, because it's within the toy community realm. And then I was on it, and now I watch it even when I'm at the gym, wherever, like every Wednesday. Like, it's just like done, right? So it's just a very supportive community regardless. Like, it doesn't even matter if you've been on there. It's even the people in the comments are all generally very supportive of each other. It's all the same community, right? Which is super dope. And that's what I love the most. Like, there's one thing when you're just collecting, then you get to collect and photograph and have that realm as well. And that's where because I'm in both, right? Like, I dabble in a little bit of everything. So, and we all do, because if you're shooting toys, you're collecting them too. But some of us, I'm more a collector, whereas you're more of a toy photographer, right? So
I was collecting pretty hardcore too. Now I can't keep up with it. I was buying everything that I was like, oh man, people are doing. Like, right now, I'm so glad I'm not buying the Indiana Jones things, because another hot take people probably won't like. I don't really give a shit about the Indiana Jones movies. I liked them. I watched them. Don't really care if I watch them again.
It's not something to collect like that. I would run.
I'm not. But last year, Unworthy would be buying every fucking Indiana Jones figure just to take pictures of them.
No, for sure.
Like, that's a pretty big waste of money.
And
I love everybody's shots that's doing the Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
I've seen Thor Collectibles Net, Cox Create. Like, there's a lot of guys that are doing these awesome shots with the in Yimbo. They're all doing these awesome shots with the Indiana Jones figures, and I love them. They're awesome. But what am I going to do with them?
No.
I'm going to have to buy another toolbox to roll around my house for figures that I don't even give a shit about.
That's it, right?
But they make you happy and you're shooting them. I love that.
That's right. No, for sure.
That. Keep doing it, because I want
do what you love, right? Do what you love, buy what you love, spend your money on whatever you want. Nobody's going to stop you, right? Whatever makes you happy. No, same with me with the collecting. roughly this year, actually 2023 started, like I found myself getting stuck in that rabbit hole where I was like, I have to be on the trends, what's coming up, what's going out, but I'm like, I don't even care about half the stuff that I bought, right? So I was like, it's not that I don't care, it's I need to fill something and I want to have it because it look cool over here, yada yada. But then I sit back and I'm like, why? Right. So I understand where you're coming from. So I myself have stepped back a little bit from not collecting per se, just I'm doing it a little more sporadically instead of just going out on the whim, like, or sorry, not sporadically, wrong words. I meant to flip that around. Being more conscious about it. As opposed to buying.
I was buying everything. I was like, I was going through my boxes of figures and I was like, what was the one last? I was like, why do I have this pancake guy from Fortnite? I've never played a Fortnite game before. I don't even know what this fucking thing is. Like, the pancake dude is cool. I like it.
But why?
It's cool looking. And I think he was in my top 10 figures of last year just because he was so cool looking.
Of course.
And like original. But then like I see more and more about what like Fortnite is, and I was like, this is dumb. I'm not buying all these damn things.
No.
Stupid. Why am I buying these?
No,
why do I own this?
No, you gotta step back sometime, right? Like, for sure. Like I'm starting to get more into like Mythic Legions and stuff, so it's kind of somewhere I'm gonna try to shift some focus to this year. But I do need to finish some of this Marvel Legends line. Like, I'm missing some X-Men that I need to grab with their like OG suits and stuff. So I got a couple.
I know a thing or two about a thing or two when it comes to
thing about a thing or two, eh? Right. No, it's you gotta stop. You can't just keep sticking with the trends, right? Plus, I don't know about you. I'm going to be 40 soon, a couple years, but I'm like, ooh, are they going to keep making these figures until we're 90? And are we going to still buy these things? Like, how's this going to go? So I've also stepped back to think of this like, wow, what are we going to do in 20 years when our kids don't want this stuff or whatever? Right?
I mean, I'm just going to have the same avoidance to that issue as I do now. I'm just going to buy another toolbox
and just be done.
And then when I have one good shot in mind, I'm going to spend 3 days digging through all my tool boxes, trying to figure out which box has which figure in it. And then I'm going to be like, what was my goddamn idea again? I don't even remember what I was trying to figure out here.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy because my partner does some too. So he's Danger Room Toy Photography, is my husband. So he's always like, Amanda, where did you put this bin of this and this? I'm like, I don't know. It's somewhere with the other accessory bins. Go look for it. It's in the diorama cupboard. It's somewhere, right?
Did you try opening your eyes?
Right? Like, did you try? It's right there, right? So I am probably going to take your idea of these rolling totes because I have bins of everything. I actually took all my accessories out the other day and laid them all on the floor and took a photo, and like, you can't even see my floor because it's just so much. So we are insane. How do you store your accessories in these bins too, or is it just figs in there? Or do you have like a system in place so you don't lose those little things?
I have a completely separate toolbox tote that is full of the accessories and effects. And let me tell you, that is a nightmare trying to figure out which. I have this whole thing. It's probably as big as my head, and it's full of Power Ranger hands. And if I have to do a hand or a photo where it's like holding like the SPD Rangers, if I have to do one that's holding the SPD Morpher, I am just constantly. I can't find them. I don't know what the hell is going on anymore.
Well, apparently divorce papers come if you buy Mythic Legions, but not for Blitz. Not for Blitz. No, they're cool figures. No, I have to find a new system. I'm constantly digging things out. So I'll have to check into some rolling totes, or I guess they're rolling toolboxes, eh? So our figures will be more articulated than us.
I have the little toolbox that I have. If I was in a position that I could show you without knocking everything over, it's like a trifold thing. It's only about as big as a shoe
train
box,
case,
but like
like a train case. That's what they call it.
Yeah, or like a tackle box almost, and like it has like separate dividers and like.
Oh, that's cool. With like a cover, right?
I can't say I do keep them this way. I try to keep like Power Ranger hands in this one, wrestling hands in this
It's
one.
so hard.
Alternate heads for Rangers in this one. Effects for Rangers, and then I'm like, well, I can't tell what's what. It's a nightmare. I started out with good intentions. I was gonna be like, I'm on top of this.
Oh,
I'm on
I
top
know.
of it, guys. Ask me about how on top of this is. I'm on top of it. I am doing good. I know where everything is.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, I don't know where
I know.
anything is.
I'm the same way. I try the same thing where I was like, okay, this is going to be specifically NECA accessories. But then I started breaking down, okay, this is NECA Ninja Turtles, NECA Universal Monsters, NECA this. And I was like, it's too much. These are all NECA hands, right? And then start with the accessories. And now I have things that are mixed together where it's like, is this a NECA Ninja Turtle piece or is this like a NECA? Because some of them are similar, right? It's like, whose gun is this now and whose gun is this? But we know it's NECA,
guns.
right?
Guns is a big issue. I don't even. I went deep into the GI Joes not long ago.
Yeah.
And
Same.
stupid ass me, I put all of the weapons in one thing, and now I'm like going on Amazon. I'm like, what weapon does Comax have?
Yep.
All right. Well, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I did the same, and I was stupid, and I mixed the GI Joe accessories with the Action Force from Valiverse. So I'm like, oh, like you can kind of tell, but I'm like, oh, do I want to?
You can tell. You can kind of tell because Valiverse actually they use pretty good plastic. They're not. They don't just. They take a weapon, and if it bends, it's from Hasbro. If it doesn't bend, it's probably from Valiverse.
No, for sure. For the most, I haven't tested it in that theory, but just look, I'm like, oh, I don't even want to sort them out at that point. Like,
I use the Sergeant Slaughter from Valiverse. I use his revolver for everything.
No, yeah, it's a good one. I just
revolver. You know, I love a good stiff revolver. Ask Toyatic about it. I love a good stiff revolver.
I love a good stiff revolver. Oh,
I do.
Subscribe to Toy Fans Only Fans to know that. That's so funny. No, that's a good figure actually. Sergeant, I do like that Sergeant Slaughter. I will say I like him better than the GI Joe, to be quite honest. I don't know why. I
like
something
the head
about
sculpt is way better from Hasbro, but everything else about Valiverse is
better.
It's top notch.
Yeah. I do like Valiverse. They were so kind to send me over the first series to check out. So I was lucky enough to get that a couple years ago. So, or when I guess last year before the female series came out this year. Right? Yeah. So they sent me over and I got to check them out. So no, I like them. I'll probably collect more of those. But to go with the GI Joes, like the Valiverse are fighting the GI Joes and the Cobra on the same shelf. So we'll see if that continues down the line. So very fun. Well, I will let you get to it, my friend. I do want to say thank you so very much for stopping by this evening. It's been a blast. Is there anything that you would like to plug? Because I know that you have a shit ton of stuff always going on. You are free to take the time to plug whatever you want, praise whoever you like, kiss whoever's butt you want in the community. Now is your time to shine. Take it away.
Well, I will thank you very much for having me on.
Of course.
It's a great honor to be on here with you. I appreciate being on here to represent the action figure photography community, because that's what's expected of me. People think that I'm they expect me to represent the community, so that's what I try to do,
of course,
as always. So I want to shout out to all the guys from the Pick Bar, Green Geek 88, Blitz Figs, AB Photos, Store 2012. They have a great show coming tomorrow, focusing on the Rangers because of the Rangers reunion show with Catalyst Hobbies, another great account to be following.
Yes,
they're going to be doing a Rangers Pick Bar tomorrow. You can also catch the Toy Daddies on the TPC community tomorrow on YouTube. Yep. You can check out Cox Create and Unboxing Art on YouTube. I think they're on Tuesdays for unboxing art. You can check out 88 Figs with Toy Tings on YouTube. On Mondays, you can check out Toy Talk for You, which is No
Toy Addict,
Toy Father, and Cox Create.
Correct.
Also, you can go get podcasts. Go check out the Hoodcast AF podcast. and check out their Patreon. It's only a $3 Patreon. You get all of their media content. You even get my show on there for free, which you can also, it's a trick because you can also get my show for free on YouTube. But for $3 a month, you might as well subscribe, because the Hoodcast AF, you get all kinds of awesome shows, like Tex AF. You get a week early, you get the Hoodcast AF shows. And also you can check out on Fridays, the Pick Bar does the Pick Bar Friday night features. Yeah, I am. I'm giving you a whole network. She said I could take my time. Don't
we
rush
got
me.
the Reader's Digest TV guide here. Here we go. No,
I'm trying to be as concise as possible.
You're all good, dude. Cool.
Lazy Boy Sundays on YouTube. Yimbo reviews everything on YouTube.
Lots of
Next
YouTube.
month,
lots of YouTube people. YouTube it up.
YouTube shows. Next month, Toy Addict is bringing back the TA Black and Wednesdays
and
with
blue, right?
With a
we do blue?
blaze of blue.
Yeah, it's blue this month. That's right.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to that.
Me too.
Shout out to the Rowdy Boys, Clintastic 4, Toy Addict, AB. I love you guys. I think I'm getting everything. Non-artistic, go check out all of his challenges. And everybody that follows me, everybody that supports me, I want to thank you guys so much for letting this old redneck drink his bush lights and talk about your photographies. I love it. I love that you guys let me talk about that, and it's a great community to be a part of. Love you too, honey boo boo.
Oh, Toy Addict kills me. So
I do.
Oh, I think you need to breathe. You think?
Hold on a second.
Take a drink, breathe. No, we appreciate you, man, and I know that you know that. Obviously, from all the comments and all the support that you get all over the place, you are well aware of where you stand in everybody's eyes. Yeah, no, keep pumping out the cool shit. I will join in whenever I can, as I do with everybody. Like, you guys post something once in a while, I try to jump in. Yeah, just stay in touch. I'll keep supporting. Obviously, I'll do my best to, I guess, if you put more stuff on YouTube, you're gonna try to do that, get some more YouTube.
I am. I'm working more on doing some more Unworthy AF. I'm also working on doing more unboxing AF, but I am also got a super secret program coming up with somebody else that's in this chat, and I can't really say too much about it, but there is a announcement incoming.
Now, stay tuned, everybody.
Stay tuned to the Unworthy and Unworthy broadcast.
Of course. Well, you're awesome. I respect the hell out of you, and I appreciate you so much for coming on. So keep doing what you're doing, man. And I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And of course, I hope to see and stick around for the ride. I'll kick you backstage. Of course, I'll say goodbye to you. And of course, one final thank you. I'm going to say goodbye to all the ridiculous people in the chats, but I shall be back with you momentarily. Thank you once again, Unworthy. I'll see you momentarily. Okay.
All right.
Alrighty, guys. Once again, I appreciate you so very, very much for joining us this evening. Of course, Unworthy is an awesome guy. As I did mention, I actually have looked up to him for quite a bit. He was one of the people who actually kind of brought me more into the toy photography realm without really knowing it. And it all started with being brought onto the Pick Bar. So to all you guys from the Pick Bar, Blitz, all you guys, Toy Addict, you're always there. I respect all of you so very much, and you have nothing but my respect going forward. So I thank all of you for tuning in, and of course the support. And I know Unworthy loves it, and vice versa for all of us. So with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful night. Stay tuned next week. I'm going to confirm our guest. However, we're going to have a different round. We're going to go back to our collectors. So we're going to meet some collectors next week, possibly talk toy photography because they do a little tiny bit, but I hope to see you there. And if not, that's okay too. We still love you regardless. So y'all be good, and you have yourselves a wonderful evening. I will talk to all of y'all so very soon. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening. Thanks so much. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And of course, go check out our guest. Go see what he's up to. I know he'll appreciate that too. All right, guys, lots of love. Take care of yourself. I got to go kick some ass at the gym. So I'll see y'all later.